Agrima Joshua, after her experience, has not been willing to speak up, but we can get a small glimpse perhaps into what her nightmare was by speaking with Dhruv Shah. Dhruv is a content creator. Dhruv, you spoke up in support of Agrima, and then you faced the same kind of abuse that she faced. So you got an idea what it's like to be a woman in India online, woman online in India.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what happened is when I saw another artist receiving so many rape threats because someone didn't like her work, as a poet, I released a spoken word poem against this culture because I realized it's just rape culture and toxic masculinity masquerading in the garb of patriotism and nationalism. And my poem made no religio-political references. All it said is that you don't get to announce a rape threat and then say Jai Hind and call it nationalism or patriotism. But what happened is a few days after I released that poem, which got a lot of support, I was added to an Instagram group with 13 men. And after they chanted some religious phrases, they asked me to delete my poem and threatened to gang rape me and make a porn film while doing this. And it was extremely terrifying, and it's embarrassing to say this as a person, as an artist, but I couldn't control my urine when that happened. And I want to say this because I want people to know that when you threaten someone like this is what you put them through while you may be having fun on the other side of the computer screen. But basically, I called them out. I shared screenshots of their threats on my stories, and then a few actors and other people in the community were kind enough to amplify this. And what happened when they did that is a lot of these trolls or perpetrators deleted their accounts. Some of them continued, but what happened after that is I started receiving threats for days from even political groups with 70,000 followers asking me to delete the post in which I am calling out
again,
these individuals.
What's worrying to me is, what happens to those content creators who don't have access to maybe a Bollywood face or any of these people who came out in support, in your support? The law is the law for everybody, irrespective of whether they have friends in high places or not. That should be the case. Dhruv, Brajesh Singh says that the police are helpful. They're on top of things. If you have a problem, they will get to the bottom of this. Was that your experience? Did you take this up with the authorities?
Unfortunately, this was not my experience because it's been over a week since I filed a cyber complaint on the government website. But I've had no human interaction since then from the police department. I've only been receiving updates saying your grievance has been accepted or transferred to so-and-so jurisdiction. But the only tangible help that I've got is when Sonakshi Sinha once again asked the authorities to help me. And I have actually reached out to a lot of journalists and, other people that I know, but even there, the support has been limited. And while the people who follow me have reported a lot of these profiles, we consistently get a rejection from the platform saying that this account didn't violate community guidelines. And I think that's because the language of the perpetrator here is Hindi, but the guidelines here don't understand Hindi. So we're constantly getting reject after reject when accounts are rampant with death threats. Even accounts, verified accounts are just rampant with death threats. In fact, someone made a fake account and said that Dhruv Shah will be responsible for my suicide. I am innocent. Mama and Papa, please forgive me. And this was extremely terrifying because I have been responding to every message trying to offer polite consolation saying, you know what, I will testify in your favor. But the burden of proof isn't actually on the victim. It's on the perpetrator. But in a situation where there is no law or no authority that is helping me, I am I'm mitigating this situation because I'm getting threat after threat. So it's been a helpless experience. And I think if...
And this is ironic because India is one of the largest, fastest growing audience markets globally for platforms like Twitter and Instagram.